Good evening and welcome to Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, ThePapare.com. We are coming to you live from Air Force Grounds, Colombo, with Dialog Rugby League 2018-19 season. This is the third game of this season between Kandy versus Air Force. Joining me in commentary is Kavin Rajapaksa. Good evening, Kavin.
Very good evening, James. It will be an interesting game on our hands. Kandy don't have very good memories of traveling down to Ratmalana. They lost 2 seasons back. They were stunned by the Air Force team. The Air Force team, a very good side. There you go, the confirmation. We are coming to you live from the Air Force grounds from Ratmalana. This is the third game of the league. We had 2 games yesterday. 2 very good games. Navy beating 24-23 against Police, and Havelocks 23-13 against Army. So we have a very good game on our hands, Sunil.
It has been an exciting week so far, Kavin. 2 good games, and this is the third game. And also the fourth game, CH versus CR, is happening down at CR and FC grounds. You can catch that on live on ThePapare.com too. As we can see, 2 teams warming up, getting ready with their pre-match planning.
The conditions today, so 29 degrees and 18 kilometers per hour is the wind from left to right. Normally, Ratmalana is known for its strong winds. The Kandy team warming up in the background. And we will see a roundup of the 2017-18 season. Kandy started off with CH. It was very good. CH fielding a very strong side. It was the defending champions Kandy. They defended their title. Anirudh Villara had a very good season. He was out injured for that last 2 games. He is still out. Is out with a concussion. As the game went on, these are action from the Army Havelocks game from last year. Some beautiful tries scored, and Army was a revelation last year. Ashan Bandara and Nana Kara and the veteran props.
Even yesterday they were really good against Havelocks. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert it like last time. And Havelocks got the better hand. And just like last time, you can see 14 all that in the first half. It was
these players. This is Nishon. He'll be playing for CH this season, and Rahul Silva will be playing at CR. So the game to watch out. That was ThePapare going in for that try. It was at Police Park. As the games went on, CR and CH, this is the clash that will be happening today. This is the last season's game. It was at Racecourse. CH stunned CR. It was 2 brilliant tries from Lee Keeger. That was the first. And Samuel Madhuanta was our Papare's man of the match. So hometown derby at CR. Interesting game on our hands. There was the second try last season for CH, and this was Navy travelling down to CR. Dulanjan Videsinghe, he will be playing for CR. Gertha won't be playing this season around. Some brilliant games as we witnessed from 2017-18. These are just the roundup highlights that we are bringing to you as the players warm up here at Ratmalana. It was a stunner. And second round, Kandy went. Heavy against Navy. This was in Nittavala. It was a very crucial match. Havelocks was powering behind Navy. It was Abzal with a brilliant try last season around. Kandy, however, managed to prevail. Yet again, they were Vijay Singh with that last try. He'll be starting at 15 for Kandy this evening here at Ratmalana. These are matches brought to you as a roundup of the 2017-18 season. Last season, Kasum Zoranga. Brilliant season he had. He had a very good 7th season as well. This was against Police. This was another stunner. So Police Navy, it was last year, it was a stunner as well, and this year they finished 24 points to 23 last evening. It was the first game of the new season. And a big news is that the foreigners, Emosi Waniwosa and Radu Akauzo will be playing. Radu Akauzo is the number 8. He will be playing for Air Force this evening. We will be able to witness him, and we witnessed Emosi Waniwosa for Police yesterday. This was the...
It's going to be interesting coming to see how these players come back to a new season and start off, because every time the first game of the season is very crucial for both teams and players.
And Kandy will be depleted. They will be missing Fazil Marija, huge loss at number 10. He is the assistant coach. These are the live pictures from Ratmalana. They are warming up at the moment. Fazil Marija will be missed by Kandy at the number 10 position. And Srinath Suryabandara is out with an cervical injury. And Roshan Veeratna will not be starting. He'll be starting from the bench due to a shoulder injury. And Gayan Veeratna too will be left out because of injury. So a depleted Kandy side, but so many dominant names present in that lineup. We will bring to you the team cards later.
There's the highlight from last year's game between Air Force and Kandy. It was a good game. Kandy was put under pressure, but they managed to clinch the win.
They'll be missing that combination. Srinath Surya Bandara, Gayan Veeratna. This was Dhanush Karanjan who was going in for his try. Some good tries scored. It started with a penalty try for Kandy. Air Force too managed to score that tries. This is Gayan Veeratna. He was a revelation last season. There was Dhanush Dan. Dhanush Dan will be coming in from the bench today as well.
Interesting to see how this team is going to play current because a lot of big names are left out. And we can see young Hasan Jensen starting off.
Both the starting options, Roshan Veeratna and Srinath Surya Bandar, are injured. So the next third option was Hasan Jensen. Jensen played in the 2017 season. This was the last try till Vijay Singh giving out Dhanush with the ball. Dhanush went in with 2 tries. It was the first half game, and second 2 Kandy dominated. It was a domination last time around. It will be interesting to see what this time will be. Air Force will be strengthened by so many players. Ramdas, Seelagama. The final preparations from Kandy. The kickoff is scheduled to be at 4 p.m.
Final prayer before going in to change into the game kit. Kandy will be looking to go big today to make a statement to all the other teams, and Air Force, it's their chance to change how they've been shown into this league. So we'll go to a short commercial break and then we'll come back with a live action of this third game of Dialog Rugby League 2018-19. Stay tuned.
ThePapare.com කරපු සංකල්පය ලංකාවේ ක්‍රීඩක ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ට ඉතාම ධෛර්යයක්. ඔවුන්ගේ අදහස් ක්‍රීඩා තොරතුරු ඊට අමතරව ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයෙක් වශයෙන් මට ආඩම්බර විය හැකි මේ අලුත් සංකල්ප ක්‍රීඩා ලෝකයට ගෙනීම ගැන මම ඇත්තටම ThePapare.com එකට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
එලිබරපු යාල්පානතිල
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. සිද්ධාස ඇඩ්මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
කිලක්කු මාහාන
Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිරි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයේ.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Welcome back to live action of Dialog Rugby League 2018-19. It is the third game, Kandy versus Air Force. Let's take a look at the team cards. Yanuka Madagedara, Lahiru Udagankumara, Charles Praveen, Tilna Bandara, Prasanna Madhushankar, Rumesh Vasanta, Abhishek Fernando, Radau Kasau. That's the foreign player playing for Air Force, and Nuam Pereira and Gantid Damagoda. Padma Sangha Veerasinghe, Jehan Silagam, a schoolboy coming into the club season, Surya Kishan, Kaushal Manupriya and Rumesh Ramdas. Joining me in commentary is Paul Toya. Paul, what do you think about this team?
Sorry about that. Well, I'm back, viewers. Well, it's difficult here. It's a game of two halves. So really, for me, it's the forward pack playing in the second half. How they're going to compete, and how the challenge of not running out of gas before the end of the game.
So there's the Kandy team: Mashan Darling, Uti Jayasuriya, Rasit Attanagoda, Sori Anthony, Shehan Patirana, Jason Disanayaka, Tharin Chaturanga and Bhuvanagudangamo in the pack, and Heshan Jansen starting off at scrum half, and Nigel Ratwata, Vishwamitra Raisinghe, Richard Dhamapala coming to centre, Januska Ranjan, Lavanga Pera and Tilna Vijay Singh. Paul, Richard has come into his school days position, the centre. What do you think about that?
Well, as a winger, he's never had to pass the ball before, so I don't know about the distribution from that position for him. So that'll be a question mark. But we know he's a strong ball carrier, and if you give him any space, he's going to go straight over the advantage line and probably make a break. What's really exciting for me is Jansen playing at 9 and his combination with Nigel at 10. See if they can clear the ball quickly and give Richard some space on the outside.
Yes, true. So we can see the officials walking into the grounds. Today's officials, ThePapare as referee, and assistant referee Sal Madhugal and Deepal Punyavardhana. So it's going to be an exciting game, and you can see the two teams lining up.
You might be able to see from the pictures, there's a couple of flags you can see, viewers, and you can, from the pictures, you might be able to gauge how strong the wind is. It's coming from left to right as you're watching from the screen, and it's going to have a huge factor on this game. So whoever's going to have the wind at their back in the second half, it'll be a huge advantage. So really what we have to look for in the first half is to see how many points they can score and see what sort of lead they can get.
And it has always been hard for the kickers over here, and the team playing in the second half has managed to score more with their counters. There you go, you can see the wind. It's really strong. But it's going to be interesting how Gyanid Damalgoda plays for our Air Force. He has been a crucial player He has been the playmaker of this team, and today is gonna be a day that he proves himself to the whole crowd.
Well, let's hope so. So the problems we've seen in the past with him is that he catches the ball a little bit late instead of early in front of him. And that seems to take him away from running a straight line, and he drifts across. It's detrimental to the rest of his back line because they're all then moving across sideways. It gives the defence an opportunity to come up and also push across, and it also brings the sideline into play as well as being an extra defender. So if he can get his hands out in front early, catch the ball early and keep a straight line, we know he's got a great pass. We just need to know that he can run straight and keep the defence coming towards him and not drifting off him.
Yes, Paul, that's the expert opinion from Paul Toya. As we can see, the teams have been introduced to the chief guest. We are almost ready to kick off. It's going to be an interesting game.
So this is a difficult time for the players. They've just had warm-up. They've had one last word by the coach in the changing rooms. They come out, they're keyed up, ready to go, and they've got 3 or 4 minutes here just to do some formalities and get through some introductions before they get to the main task here today. And they just have to make sure that they stay on course and stay on target with what their job's going to be at the first kick-off.
And Paul, normally in the first game of the season in any competition, teams would have a hard time fitting into the game, coming into rhythm. Do you think it will be the same today in this game too?
Well, generally in the first game and in the first couple of games in a season, you see that the combinations between 9 and 10 and 12 and 13 and the running lines of the flankers and the other forwards, they take a little bit of time to gel. So it really depends on their pre-season work and what they've done before now, but they've actually haven't played so far with these combinations against real opposition. So that's where the test is, and to see if they've got those combinations worked out right. And with all seasons, teams improve or else they arrive as a finished product in the first game, and that's their peak. So we'll see from here whether these guys have arrived and they've got improvement in them, or whether they've arrived and they're a finished product and they're going to struggle to continue to improve.
So Gayan kicks it off, good high-hanging kick, and beautifully taken down. So Kandy straight away sets up them all, and they're charging forward. Air Force under pressure early on in this game as Jensen gives it out to Ratate. Ratate cuts back in, gives an offload, not successful, but Kandy in space now. Tilna Vijay Singh. Vijay Singh draws and pass. Can Vishwamitna score? Beautiful try there. He's going under post. Taken down, 34 seconds on our clock. The first try comes for Kandy.
Well, that was great play by Kandy, but they just recognised that there was space on the outside. Nigel took the ball to the line, but that man that scored the try, he ended up looking like he got really close to the line at the back, the dead ball area, Jaya Singh, but it was really just all about as soon as Kandy had made that initial break, the ball bounced free. They can have 2-on-2 instead of a 2-on-1 situation.
So Tilna Vijay Singh with the first conversion of the season. Puts it through, so 7 points to nil. Just 34 seconds for the first try. Do you think this would be like last year's game, Paul, where Kandy scored about 50 odd points against Air Force?
Well, I haven't got my my crystal ball here today, but it looks like it. After the first 34 seconds, they score a try. The first time they take the ball to the line. But we have said that this wind that's coming from left to right does give that attacking team the advantage. So is that the advantage they're talking about? Another great kickoff there.
Collected again by Jason there. So Kandy yet again sets up a maul. It's like an action replay of the first kickoff. Kandy moves forward. Jansen gives it out to Nigel. Nigel goes to his forwards. Forward pass says Tinka Pires.
Well, Dinka there set the standard for the forward passes. So anything that's borderline, looks like it's a bit flat, he's calling it early. So that's an opportunity there for Air Force to get their hands on the ball. So they're running into the wind. This is their first opportunity with ball in hand. I'd imagine they'll keep the ball close to the forwards, try and work their way in, and they'll try and probably get their overseas player, Raduva, see if he can get his hands on the ball. I don't know whether he'll pick it up off the back or whether he'll take it as the end of the first phase. It looks like he's going to take the ball straight out of the scrum, goes around the blind side, gets picked up straight away by Jason.
For still in position as Pereira gives it out to Gayan. Gayan to his center, cuts back in. Padmasankar. As Pereira again to Gayan. Gayan long pass away to his winger. Veer Singer, he's been taken down. Pereira slowing things down. Gayan now. Good pass to his forwards. Good listen. The play is down.
Plays down and he's out. There's a heavy knock to the head. So here Air Force are really struggling to get over the advantage line. There's a heavy defence there from Kandy that are getting up off the line. A little offload. Sees the attack advancing up over the gain line for the first time. There we go, and that's why we see that advancing defensive line so quick off the line. It's because ThePapare said they were offside there.
So a good opportunity for Air Force to gain some ground, as I think Lasita Attanaguda is down on the ground.
It looked like to me like he just got his head in the wrong position, and just took a knee into the head. Just got to work on his technique, and there you see the power of the wind. They only made maybe 10 metres. Here it is here on the replay, and see his head's just on the wrong side. So he's tackling with his right shoulder. He needs his head to be on the left side, on the tackler's right side, I suppose. So just got his head on the wrong side and copped a knock.
I think probably a mild concussion. Referee Dinkapi is just seeing the player down, so they might take him out for a head injury assessment.
Yeah, look, he looked like he was asleep when he hit the ground. Probably for player safety, you want to see him go off, get checked at least. We know that there's serious repercussions from concussion, so player welfare here is paramount.
So Ganuka Disanayaka coming in for Lasita Attanaguda. I think he'll be taken out for an HIA. I doubt that he would return because he's been taken out in the stretcher.
Well, from what I saw when he hit the ground, it looked like he was asleep. So, it's pretty hard to do a diagnosis from this far away anyway. But we'll let the medical staff do their job and make sure he's all right and safe firstly, and then see whether he's able to come back. But we did see how much trouble Air Force were having getting over the advantage line and how much the Kandy defence were up really quickly. So traditionally Kandy have always have a really strong tight defence, and if you just have to move it one or two passes wide of that defence.
So Air Force in the attack. Pereira switches side, goes to his forwards. They barge through, gaining some meters as they have numbers on the outside. Pereira again to Gayan. Idamaguda draws and pass, but there's a defender. Air Force manages to chip it through. Jansen to pick up the ball. Jansen cuts back in, but referee is bringing back play. Penalty for Air Force not rolling away. Tackle not rolling away, says the referee. So another opportunity for Air Force.
That's right, another opportunity. But you can see there where the penalty kick is. that Air Force aren't making huge ground. They're not getting over that advantage line, so they need to try and work that out a bit better. I believe they might be taking too many men into the breakdown, and then giving themselves shorter numbers in attack. So what they need to do is try and clear that ball quicker. They need to be more effective in their breakdown work. And when one player comes in, he's got to take out at least one threat. You can't have 5 or 6 players coming in and just taking out and just going in and inspecting the ruck. They have to come in and make a difference.
Yeah, Paul, I agree. There were like 4 or 5 players involved in the ruck, just standing behind. So Air Force with another throw-in as Lahiro Kumara throws in the ball. Good line out there, quick, as Pereira gives it out to Damagoda. Damagoda gives it out to Kasau, who barges through, trying to go through the defense. As Air Force now trying so hard to break the Kandy defense line. Taken down again, Pereira to Idamagoda. Idamagoda back to his forwards, intercepted by Jason Disanaga. But referee says offside.
No, he's saying going in the side at that breakdown, I think. So he's saying that at the breakdown they're coming in not through the gate. I think that's what that arm action from Dinkaperis is saying. So there, from our stats man, so we've seen 4 penalties in 6 minutes from Kandy. So at what point does the referee have a word to the captain and say, repeated infringements, if this continues, we might have to have a yellow card? There's a little hold up. Dinka's asking for...
The referee is having a word with the match officials.
We know that Dinkaperis doesn't like the crowds encroaching the ground, but the call is that there's no doctor on the sideline. So unless they're going to be able to fix this problem. So no doctor, no ambulance. They're part of the requirements that World Rugby put in place, that if you want to have a senior competition, you have to have medical staff to be able to attend, so that if there's any emergency, then help can come quickly.
His player safety is utmost important. So, Paul, just to talk about the game so far, what do you think about the Kandy's defense so far? They've been given up penalties, but they've been really quick off the line.
They have been really quick off the line, and so this is the first game of the season. So, and the first 5 minutes. So, firstly, when teams come out and they're asked to defend in the first 5 minutes, they can still hear the coach in their ears. There's a lot of emotion. There's still a lot of adrenaline pumping around, and they want to do the right thing. They want to start well, and they want to do well in the season. So they come flying up out of the blocks, and it lasts for probably 10 minutes is generally how long teams can continue with just enthusiasm. And then once enthusiasm's gone, they have to fall back onto the systems that they've already put in place in pre-season. So that's why we're seeing them so quickly off the line. So the question for Air Force is, if you have a really fast advancing defensive line coming at you, where's the space? So is there space just on the other side of that defensive line? So do you put a kick in or a little grubber? Or is there going to be... Or do we take the contact, and then because the defensive line's coming so quickly, if we can turn over the ball fast, that defensive line that's come up quickly, they're not going to be able to get back onside in time. And then you could have another advantage there as well. So there's a couple of ways you can play it. You can maybe try and get around the edge and try and get around the 13. At the moment, it looks like they're not trying to do that. So Air Force, what we've seen is they've taken the ball in and crashed in the 12-13 channel, and then they're taking it back down the blind side. Kandy know this is happening. They're set up in their defence, and they're advancing really quickly. That's why we're not seeing Air Force make any real progress. And the interesting thing is that Kandy have had the ball once. They've attacked once.
And they've scored.
A try. That's right.
And also, on your screens, you can see you can get your brand recognized with Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, ThePapare.com. You can just call up Dinuk on the number you have on the screen to advertise anything with ThePapare.com.
So there's an update from the CR-CH match. It's 5-3 to CR. CR leading. Early game, early minutes though. So we'll keep you up to date with that as we keep you up to date with progress here. Not sure what the solution here will be, and who's responsible here? Who's responsible? Is it the team that's hosting the game? So it's at Ratmalana. So that's obviously the Air Force Sports Club that are hosting this game. Is it their responsibility? Is it the match officials? They're meant to make sure that there's the medical staff that's required, or is it left up to the Sri Lankan Rugby Union?
And we can also see Mr. Tony Amit down there talking with the officials. So this is gonna affect a lot on the players' ball. They have to pause their game. Their momentum is gonna shift, and they're gonna cool down. Their bodies are gonna cool down, and this is gonna affect heavily on these players, isn't it?
Yeah. So generally, what I'd be looking at here is just to get a ball out there and just have the boys put their hands on the ball and just do a couple of really simple moves. It's not about keeping heat in the legs or warming themselves up, because they're warm already. All it is about is putting the ball through the hands. It's just about making sure that they're concentrating on what's important. And at the moment, what's important for the players and the players on the field is not the ambulance that's arriving. It's this line-out that's just about to take place. So that's what they need to concentrate on.
So Air Force yet again with the throw-in. They've been having the ball for a while now. So Lahiru Deanga with the throwing. Good throw, a tall jumper. The Vidya, the player, Bandara. As Air Force moves forward, Pereira to his #1. Charles, a key player for this Air Force team going forward. Quick ball to his forwards again. Pereira keeping the ball close to his forwards. Very well done. Bandara yet again, ripped off. Kandy now with an opportunity to get out of jail. The second time they are getting the ball, as Jansen gives it out to Nigel Ratata. Puts on a long kick. Very well done. Comes up to the opposite 40-meter line.
So that's a beautiful old-fashioned spiral punt. Something that we don't see much in the modern game, but once you get that just right, it gets up into the air. And with this wind, you can see the wind there, and you can see the flag and the assistant referee's flag when he had it up in the air there. You can see how strong it is, and you can see Nigel just put boot to ball 40 metres, and he's up by the halfway line and takes the pressure off his team. It was a lot of attack there by Air Force. We saw they came around the corner. They did quite well by coming around the corner. They got over the advantage line, but just need to have better ball security.
So another infringement. Overthrown the line out, and Kandy with position, and the referee has his hand out as Jansen gives it out to Nigel. Now Danshko Ranjan to Richard. And now Lavanga is taken down, but referee is bringing back play.
I think I saw his arm was out for a penalty advantage. That penalty advantage was for hands on the ground by one of the players. I'm not sure which number it was, but the tackle was completed. He just had his arms on the ground as he's going in for the ball.
And Paul, Kandy's backline seems to be really quick when they're passing the ball.
Yeah, look, what Kandy do really well is they put the ball out in front of their players. It gives them an opportunity to run onto the ball, and they just they love attacking space. So if they see players out in areas where there's open space, they get the ball there quickly. And when you've got a player like Ranjan on the at outside centre and you give him time and space, it's not going to be a good day for any defender seeing that.
So Kandy with the first line out for them. As Uttara Jayasuriya with the throw in. Very good throw, collected cleanly by Shehan Patirana. Now setting up a maul, good strong maul. Air Force trying to push them back. Kandy moving forward with no problem. Ganuko with the ball, transferring it back. Can Kandy manage to score again? The maul has been taken down. So Jansen now gives it out to Rattate. Not a good pass. As Air Force manages to take the ball. As Luan Pereira now gives it out to Gayani Damagoda. Runs sideways and passes it to his forwards. They're taking a risk running inside 22 meters, but not supporting his body weight, says the referee, so earns a penalty. It's a 5th penalty for Air Force.
Yeah, look, it looked like that might have been a ruck already formed as well. There was a player from each team already in there, but whatever he was doing wasn't correct. I thought Air Force probably missed a trick there. They should have gone open instead of coming back where all the forwards were. What they need to think about now is just taking the energy out of the legs of the Kandy team, so that in the second half that forward pack's going to be tired. So if they move the ball away from that forward pack, makes them run now, and then later on they won't be able to run. That's the theory. Whether it works in real life is another thing.
Small, simple things, but Shehan Patirana does really well to turn over the ball, but it's gone out again. And Air Force gaining meters. Sudyanga Kumar with another throw in. This time makes no mistake. Ruan Pereira now gives it out to Damagoda. Damagoda to his center. Jehan Silagama. And Damagoda again. Puts in a chip this time. Not collected. And it's still in. It has gone out on the full. So the wind is not helping the Air Force kickers so far.
No, well, they're not using the wind. That's the thing. So what they can do is they can use the wind because it's going to hold the ball up. So kick it as far as they can, kick it to the other side, and they know the ball's going to be held up by the wind, and that gives their chasers an opportunity to chase the ball down. So that's one way they could use it.
As Uchita throws in the ball, collected cleanly, set up maul again. As Kandy is rolling through. Air Force trying so hard to hold them back. So far successful. As Jansen commands his troops, takes the ball out, runs by himself. He needs support. As Kandy with precision. Bunako Dangama first time running with the ball. Jansen now gives it out to Ratwata, takes his time, and he's been nailed by the Air Force defense. Referee has his hand up. Taylor Vijay Singh now attacking the ball. Jansen now again to Sawyer Anthony. Sawyer Anthony being taken down again. Kandy trying hard to gain meters. So referee is coming back for the penalty. Line outside.
Yeah, so it's just saying that those players are getting up too quickly, and I think Kandy taking it into the forwards and running it close, and Jansen just popping it off to the forwards is actually playing into the hands of Air Force, because you can see their enthusiasm and their willingness for the contact. I believe that Kandy, the better way for them to play against Air Force at the moment is just to run on the outside, just to go around the outside of 13 and use the outside channels where they've got a huge advantage, and really frustrate the forwards where they can't actually make a hit. Because these forwards, they really want to get off the line. You can see the Air Force defensive line there really getting up off the line and trying to make big hits. If you take that opportunity away from them and just make them run from one side to the other side to the other side, it frustrates big men really quickly, and their performance drops.
And also Kandy has a good back line. They have Richard ThePapare, Danushka Ranjan, Vishma with Vijay Singh. As Tilner missed the conversion, it hits the upright. Danushka Ranjan missed the tackle on the first time. But Uchita takes it at Nuwan Pereira, picks and goes. Long pass, not a good pass. Putting his play under pressure. As Air Force now wins a penalty. Holding on, referee. Nuwan Pereira takes it quickly. And Air Force now running forward. Not a good offload, but still with precision. Nuwan Pereira gives it out. Idamagoda puts a long, high-hanging kick. Can they chase it down? Tilner Vijay Singh collects it cleanly. As Kandy with the attack. Pick and go by Bhuwana Kudangamua. He's been held up. Very good defense by Air Force. As Johnson looking both ways. Gives out to Surya Anthony. He's being held up. Johnson to Nigel. Nigel puts a small grabber kick. As Richard is chasing down. Rumesh Ramdas not doing well to collect it, but still with precision. As Air Force running forward, number 25, Veer Singh taken down. Pereira to his foreign player, Kaso. He cuts back in. Air Force is not running into the ball. They are taking it stationary as Pereira gives it out his forwards again. Advantage for Kandy. Kandy turns the ball over. And Udangamua fumbling the ball. First knock on says the referee, so back and forth. Both teams going back and forth. And we can see players having their hands on their head.
Yeah, look, the ball being in play that long is difficult at this time of the year for the players. They're still getting their game fitness up. So that's why you see them with their hands on their hips or on their knees. But there we saw two different types of kicks. We saw a grubber come through. I thought Nigel's kick was a little bit too far. It gave the defending fullback a little bit too much time to be able to gather the ball and collect without players coming through. And then when, I'm not sure it was, Richard Daramabalo maybe came through, he missed the tackle. And so that fullback did really well there to get out of that position.
So the word from CRNF grounds is CH leading 13 points to 5 so far in the first half. I'm back over here at Air Force grounds, Ratmalana. Kandy leading 7 points to 0.
I've got to say, as a coach, I didn't like the what happened when the ball hit the post there. Only one man from Kandy was chasing, and no one from Air Force stopped and took the ball. There's great play there, way over the advantage line by Air Force. Now see if they can take advantage of that. They come back the same way where all the players are. It looked like there's a little knock on there. Opportunity missed.
But the line outside says the referee, so they earned the penalty. What I've back when I was playing, what I've been taught by my coach was when it's fast ball, we go the same way because the defense is on the other side, so you can exploit the space on the outside. But nevertheless, Air Force wins a penalty.
Well, yeah, and look, your coach is a very smart man. But the thing is, what you need to see players identifying where the space is, and then you need that communication to come into the playmakers. So the 9 can't be expected. The 9 can't be expected to see where the space is on the far side, on the outside, and also look at the ball and make sure he's there in time, in the right time, in a timely manner. And you can't expect the 10 also to look at where the 9 is, when he's going to pass it, and also where all the space is in the background, where the space is in the front line. It's just too much. So you need players on the outside. You need the whole team communicating with the playmakers to make sure that you identify space.
That has been the advice. We've always got players on the outside calling for the ball. As Udanga puts in a short throw. Air Force with the attack. Pereira now to Idamagoda taking it standing as Kaso goes into contact. He was not held, so very well done. As Air Force moving forward, no problem. Pereira switches sides again, gives it out to Danga. Pereira slowing things down again. Demagoda wants his forwards back. Good pass to Silagama. Silagama going down. Slipping as Pereira quick ball to Gayan. Cuts back in. That's number 12. Gayan now to his forwards. Madhusanga going into contact. Pereira yet again to Demagoda. Demagoda runs by himself. Puts a long pass. Not a great pass. It was a forward. Ranuka Madagedara was on the outside. It was over his head. I think it was a Winthree's ball, but I
He
didn't.
needed Dane Coles out there, didn't he? Someone with international experience. It was a great pass, but just maybe not the skill set to execute that sort of catch. But here we see Adam go to him take the ball to the line. That's what I like to see. See, he drew 3 players in towards him, and that defence came to him, and it opened up the space on the outside. And that's what you want to see from your 10, really challenging the defenders and making sure that they have to make a decision, and it opens up space, as I said, on the outside.
And we haven't seen a lot of players when Air Force running into the ball. They haven't been running into the ball. They have been stationary, taking the ball and then deciding to run. So as Jansen feeds in the ball, gives it out to Ratwatta. Ratwatta now a high kick, but it's been held as Air Force wins the ball. Now an opportunity for Air Force to attack. Number 11, Manupriya is taken down as Air Force now on the outside. Rumesh Ramdas running forward. Taken down as Pereira gives out Idamagoda. Idamagoda pops out to his forwards. As Nuam Pereira again gives it out to Gayan Idamagoda. Short pass but taken down. Kandy wins position. Turnover Jansen. Long pass to Vijay Singh. Not collected cleanly. The referee bringing back play. First knock on by Air Force.
So there we had a shooter coming up out of the line for Kandy, and so he spotted where the runner and where the danger was. Adam Malgoda took the ball to the line and then just popped the ball off, and the shooter came out and he hit that man. I'm not sure who it was, but I think this is the collision that happened is what's caused this injury. Strange kick there by Nigel, wasn't it? It was I think he must have fluffed his lines there because he didn't quite get it off his left foot as well as he'd like. Because there's a lot of area in the background. You always have to make sure against Kandy that you have players up, you have to have your defenders up to make sure it's not easy to get the ball out to 13 to Ranjan. And here we see that shooter come up out of the line, and just make contact early. That's where the ball got lost. Didn't look like, there, maybe that's where the injury occurred, that player landing on top of him.
But the player is back on his feet. So no problem, I guess. Let's hope so. So Kandy with position now.
So a quick update from the CHCR game. CH have got the lead, 13-8. It's an exciting match, seesawing scoreboard.
Story here is Kandy yet to score after that quick try off the kickoff to 7-0. And Air Force trying hard to break Kandy's defense as Bunagudangamua breaking off the scrum. He's been held down. Good defense by the flankers of Air Force. Jansen gives it out. Tilna Vijay Singh. Vijay Singh kicks it out. Very good kick. Rumesh Ramdas does well to keep the ball in. And he cuts back inside, runs by himself. Shehan Patirana takes him down, and Air Force now with the attack. Nuam Pereira gives it out to Gani Damagoda. Damagoda long pass to his forwards. Good line speed shown by Kandy. Pushing Air Force attack behind. Losing ground. Good high hanging box kick by Pereira. Collected by Nigel. And he's been taken down by Kaushal Krishan. Jansen now gives it out to Jason Dissanayake. Dissanayake been taken down. Jensen slowing things down, gives it out to Ganuka. Ganuka not collecting it. Was focused more on the hit, that collection, but Air Force now with the ball. Gan cuts back in, runs by himself. He needs support. Pops the ball out. Bit of scrappy paper as Air Force moves forward. Pereira now to Vasanta. Vasanta taken down. Ball pops out, but Pereira gives it out to Bandara. Bandara gives it out to Kasau. Big collusion there. It's Jason. Jansen tries to play on, but referee says knock forward by Kandy. So we can see a lot of players down on the ground, Paul.
Yeah, so this is what we were saying earlier, that early on in the season it's difficult to get your match fitness up. But I actually thought that Kandy might have knocked the ball on earlier and at one point, but there you just saw Jansen. He knocked the ball and tried to get his hand in and collect an intercept. And that's where he knocked the ball on. Here we can see just here the ball. They can just look at the numbers on the outside. They've got two players here, and that's the edge of the attack there. And just here, it's not bad play. Intentional knockdown? Penalty?
I think so. Yeah, there was no opportunity for him to catch the ball. I think it should have been a penalty. But the referee's decision is the final decision. So Air Force with an opportunity now again.
So really, 25 minutes, 7 points. Is that enough with this wind? You know, that's the question's got to be asked. Have Kandy made the most of this wind? And I've got to say no, they haven't. One, there's been a couple of errant kicks. Really, what they should do is they need to put Air Force just back in their 22 the whole time. Every time they have the ball, just boot it straight back down here. And because we've seen that Air Force are struggling to make it over the advantage line. Here again, they're just getting up to the advantage line, no more. Too many players in that ruck.
As Pereira gives it out. And it had been knocked on the referee. Bad positioning by the referee there.
Well, it's not a bad play by Air Force because they've just they've gone through two rucks. They've gone through two phases there. They didn't really make any ground. They had a lot of players on the ground in that last ruck. They weren't really set for another attack. And what they're trying to do here is they're just trying to run the clock down. So just take up time, slow the ball down, slow the game down, pass it into the referee, reset a scrum, take up another couple of minutes, and then maybe they might get to half time and it's 7-0, and then they've got a real opportunity in the second half.
It's true ball as Air Force with the attack, big number 8. The foreigner picks the ball out. As Air Force now Guyan acting as scrum half, gives it out to Charles. Charles skipping the ball to Veerasinger. Veerasinger on the outside, cuts back in. Good tackle there by Vishwamitra. Knocked forward by Pereira.
Just a little knock on there, and that's because the halfback wasn't there quick enough. You know, if he was there faster, he would have been able to get that ball away. They just had to cover up there. There was an opportunity actually for them to play the ball, and instead of playing the ball, the player that arrived actually went in and just bridged over the ball and just made it available for the halfback. At that point, the decision-making that he should have been taking was, is there an opportunity for me to take the ball? Yes, then I'm going to play it.
So Kandy now with an opportunity.
Well, the seesaw that is the CR-CH game has swung again, and it's CR that's taking the lead, 15-13. We'll keep you updated.
Referee Tinkape wants to reset the scrum. I think both teams, the forwards have been hard working today. They've been using their forwards a lot in their attacks. We saw Air Force all the time off the ruck or off the fly half. They've been using their forwards to go penetrate the defense, and also Kandy off the rucks. They've been using their forwards, and it's tiring the forwards.
Yeah, look, so what we've seen with Kandy, what I've thought is that at the lineouts they're taking the ball and they're trying to ruck and maul the ball and hold the ball in and gain metres that way. One, gain metres, but also to try and suck in some defence. Whereas with the lineouts from Air Force, they're just getting the ball straight off the top, moving the ball straight away. And so they want to move the ball away from those forwards and make them start doing some work.
Jansen to Nigel Ratata. Gives it out to Richard ThePapare. Good switch there. As Jansen again gives out to Jason Dissanayake. Tries to run forward. 3 defenders trying to take him down. Finally goes down. Jansen now gives it out. Again, Ratata to Ranjan. Giving it out to Lawanga Pereira. But referee Dinka Pace yet again says it's a forward pass. Let's see if you could get a replay. There you go. Ratata.
Yeah, that's right. And it looks like this pass here is the one he's calling forward. Where's his hands going backwards? Is the movement going backwards? Dinka Paris believes it wasn't. He's the man that matters.
So
we do know that the wind's going to have a lot to do with the ball moving forward there. But so what they really look at is are his hands going backwards, because the player's running forward at a rate of knots. The ball's already travelling forward at a rate of knots in that player's hands. And as long as the player passes backwards, his arms move backwards, the ball should do that. But that time the ball, it looked like it went backwards, but it got caught in the wind and it just sort of curved around and might have deceived the referee there.
So Pereira now to the Zehan Selagama. Selagama goes into contact but loses the ball. So Kandy in the attack. Tilna Vijaysinga cuts back in. Takes on 2 defenders. Pops the ball out to Lawanga Pereira, who fumbles it. Air Force now with the attack. Nuan Pereira gives it out to Kasau. He's been taken down. Turnover ball. Kandy yet again with pressure. Jansen gives it out to Richard ThePapare, who puts a backhand pass. Collected by Nigel. Nigel fumbling again. Ball being turned over back and forth. Seb Bandara now for Air Force giving it out to Veda Singer.
So we're playing a knock-on advantage here. Is this enough advantage for Air Force? They played last time that it was before they lost the ball.
So Charles Praveen gives it out to...
Keep on pushing the ball out a little bit wider. They can see a little bit more space out wide. You can see the defence. You can just see in the foreground there the Air Force players with hands on heads not running back to get back into position as they go over the advantage line again. Now they just want players.
They have good momentum.
Running through with some momentum.
They're going on with momentum and they need all the players. As Bandara gives it out to Surya Kishan. Cuts back in. He has no problem going all the way. Goes under the post. That's Surya Kishan scoring the first try for Air Force. 5 points to 0. That has been an amazing play, Paul. They saw the space in the front, and Surya Kishan cut back in. And
yeah, look, the defender really telegraphed what he was going to do. His body shape said that he was going to go sideways, and that's once you see that as an attacker, then you've got to go on the inside. You dummy or something, and you go on the inside. But really, it was all about the pass from the 10 from Air Force, Adam Algoda. He recognised that there was space on the outside. I think he skipped like 2 or 3 players and got it outside. I'm not sure he got it to one of his locks there, Bandara. And Bandara just sort of half took it into contact and then got the ball away. The conversion successful there. Ties up the score, 7-all. Gives Air Force a real opportunity here. We're just about to head into the second half, into half time. And here we see there's that skip pass. Bandara with the ball, takes contact, brings in the last defender. And there's that shape of the defender. There, it looked like he was always going to go sideways and not make the tackle. So Kishan just saw the gap, accelerated over the line. Ranjan could only catch him at the line and put the ball in under the posts. 7-all, 31 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes to go until half time. Air Force hold on to this and then come out in the second half with the wind at their back. We may look at a real upset.
Yeah, Air Force is starting to exploit the Kandy defense as they collect the ball cleanly this time again. So Pereira now gives it out to Charles. Charles going into contact, trying to break through, but Kandy holding on. Surya Anthony doing really well.
Ref. It's a ruck.
So Air Force referee sees a knock on, so Air Force losing the ball again.
Looked like Kandy came in and tried to pick the ball up, and I thought that it looked like a ruck to me. Maybe the ball had come out and the ruck had finished, but for all intents and purposes, the ball was still in the ruck there. And as we know, when the ball's in the ruck, you're not allowed to use your hands. So you really should just stay clear, Kandy. It's a ruck. Don't use your hands. So Kandy get away with one here. Now, so what we need to look at now from a coaching point of view, you'd ask, what is that score against Kandy? What are they going to bring now? Like, what are you going to do as a team? You've just had a team come and score against you, against the run of play. You've got the wind behind your back. It's 7-all. What are you going to do? What are your team leaders going to do? What are they going to say? Do we need to turn up the intensity? Do we need to look at areas where we should move the ball? You know, they need to have a talk, a chat with each other and work out exactly what they need to do. Here, so here we see that's a ruck, obviously. And see how many players there go in. See maybe 6 players there for Air Force. Now, that's okay if you're going to do a box kick. You can have all your forwards in there. But here they go in and they go and have another ruck. And there's 1, maybe 2 players there who are going to be there to clean out. As we see it, back to live action.
Nigel
Kandy have the ball. Nigel weaving his magic, weaving his way through the line. Jansen passes it out the back. They're going to take the ball back inside.
Udangamok barging through. Defenders stunned by his run. Jansen now to Disanaga. Disanaga, short pass has been taken down. As the forwards coming in to pick and go. As Kandy with momentum now, trying to pick and go. F is over the ball, but Kandy still managing to keep the ball with themselves. Oh no, Air Force have.
It's a 4-on-2. He's got a pass. Oh, what was that pass? What was that pass? 4-on-2, maybe 5-on-2. You know, the eyes should be lighting up for a winger on the outside, and the winger should be filthy. You know, you should be coming and going, all we need to do is get the ball out to me and I'm scoring a try. You've got to make sure that pass is correct. Here, we see the ball. It's pretty close to a ruck, but a number 11 must have the ball there for Air Force. So it looks like they're going in for the ball. It just pops out there. Number 11 did go in and collect the ball there. And here, see the numbers. There's only 2 defenders on screen, and that's all they've got. We could see a lot of blue shirts there and only 2 white shirts. Real opportunity, even though they were in their own 22, 80 metres still left to run. They had the numbers, and they had a lot of space in front of them.
Really unfortunate there. As Jansen feeds in the ball. Slowing things down, Bonago Dangamo picks it out. Not a good pass by Nigel. Gives it out to Richard Damapala. Cuts back in. He's been taken down. Referee having his hand up. Penalty advantage as Jason Disanaga goes into contact. Air Force going over the ball. Was Kandy still with possession. Jansen picks and goes. Not a good pass. Knock forward. I think referee wants to know where Kandy needs the penalty because penalty, hands on the ground, says referee. So Nigel gaining some meters, going into touch.
So Nigel realises the urgency of the situation there. You see Damapala there going in. It looks like it might have been a high tackle, but that was hands on the ground. Wouldn't mind seeing a guy that we haven't really spoken about today, Ranjan. Wouldn't mind seeing the ball in his hands, and Kandy supporter would probably want to see the ball in his hands as well. So see what they do here. Drive forward again, holding the ball into the forwards.
Very good setup, Maul there. As Kandy moving forward, Ashan Darling with the ball. Can they go over the line? No, they've been taken down. Jansen trying to take the ball out. Gives it. I beg your pardon, that was Roshan Veeratna. He had been put in by coach Sean Vijay Singh. So Kandy taking up the pace. Pick and go there. They're about 2 or 3 meters away from the line as Veeraratne gives it to Bhuvanegu Dangamu. Dangamu been taken down. Veeraratne again cuts back in, tries to go by himself but taken down again. So Kandy with position, slowing things down. Air Force fringe defense is looking good. Very well done there again to stop the attack. As Veeraratne gives it out to Nigel Ratwa. Nigel Ratwa pops the ball out to Richard Dhamapala, who goes on to score under the post. So that's the second try. The first half for Kandy. Richard Dhamapala taking the score up to 12 points. Just about 3 minutes to go in our clock.
Yeah,
for
so look,
halftime.
I thought that was all about the change at 9. So the 9, Roshan Veeraratne, what he's done is he's come in and he's starting to snipe around the edges, and that's really bringing in the defence towards him, and that creates a little bit more space for Nigel. And then you could see Nigel, he just, with that little bit of space, he was able to take the ball to the line and then have time to have an offload. And there's the result there, another try for them as we head towards half-time. Dinka Beres has called half-time, so we go to the sheds, 14-7. Oh no, kick was successful?
Yes, the kick was successful, so the halftime score is 14 points to 7. There you go, the confirmation. So Kandy getting the better hand right at the end of the first half. I think it has been an interesting game, Paul, so far. Things going back and forth.
Well, it has been an interesting game, you're right, and it's been a close tussle, a lot closer than we would have imagined after Kandy scored in the first couple of minutes. Well, 36 seconds I think it might have been. But it was an interesting change there by the coach, Coach Sean for Kandy, which is interesting because we know that Jansen does have that part of his game. He can snipe around the edges, but maybe this being his first time starting as a starting halfback, he didn't feel like he had license to do that. Maybe his role wasn't clear enough, because we know that he can do that. So they made the change, and then that Roshan came on and then started sniping around the edges. So have a look at the highlights, and this is the first couple of minutes. This is the first minute. We see the ball pop free. Winger comes in from Air Force and creates a 2-on-1 fullback plus winger. They go around the outside very easily. Look where space is, but very close to running over the dead ball line. It's got the ball back just close enough to the posts for the conversion to be easy.
And there's the Air Force try, Paul. Surya Kishan, there you go, beautiful step back inside.
Yeah, that's right. That was really against the run of play. Air Force hadn't really been threatening the 22, and just that little stop there, Nigel just had to stop and step back, and for some reason that opened up the space there for him to go through a half hole. He got tackled and managed to get the ball away, and it's a classy player, Nigel. We know that. He's very dangerous with the ball in hand.
So there you go, 14 points to 7. Kandy leading in this third Dialog Rugby League 2018-19 game. So we'll come back to you with the second half action after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදි කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේටියත් රවටරිය ගෙදර තියෙති ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි. අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi රවටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදි කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඇයි බැරි? මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේටියත් රවටරිය ගෙදර තියෙති ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි. අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi රවටරේ නිසා ගෙදරදි කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඇයි බැරි? මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ කොහේටියත් රවටරිය ගෙදර තියෙති ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය මොබිටෙල් Wi-Fi Plus විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ එක බිලයි කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்தில்
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. සිද්ධාස ඇඩ්මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය
கிழக்கு மாகாணம் சுகததாஸ் இண்டோர் ஸ்டேடியம்
is the Foxhill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිරි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
ThePapare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයේ.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Huge amount of cricket fans out there. They look at things in so much detail. They demand detail much more than we have a video analyst for us. Incredible. These guys want even more detail when it comes to reading about the game and understanding. So I think ThePapare.com provides all of that beautifully. So congratulations and well done to ThePapare.com, because for people like me and for millions of other cricket fans around the world.
Welcome back to live action. We're coming to you live with the third game of the Dialog Rugby League 2018-19. This is the game between Air Force and Kandy. Kandy leading at halftime 14 points to 7. What do you think? How will it be in the second half, Paul?
Well, how I think it'll play out is that the Air Force coach, Verity, will say, let's use this wind and let's get the ball all the way down to the far end and let Kandy run it out from there. Kandy will say, okay, well, if you're going to kick the ball to us, we're going to hold on to possession, we're going to use it. And that's a dangerous thing for any team playing Kandy, because when they have the ball in their hand, difficult to defend. You saw whenever they had the ball and they were running forward, they were really difficult to defend.
So Nigel with a high-hanging kick as the Air Force tries to move forward. So Pereira now to his forwards, passing through, trying to break the Kandy defense. Pereira now again. Long pass to Gani Damagoda, who kicks it up high, long kick, not collected cleanly by Bunagu Dangamua. There's a man in front, but referee says play on. Roshan Veeratna trying to run by himself. He needs support. Kandy players still going down. So Air Force winning the ball. Time to fast things up as Idamagoda gives it out to Charles. Noam Pereira looking both ways to Idamagoda again. Stops and passes back, changes sides. Air Force slowing things down. Ball pops out and Kandy manages to turn the ball over. Dangamo now with the ball. He wasn't held, so he's moving forward again. Veeratna going to his short side. Nigel Ratata runs by himself. I beg your pardon, that's Richard Dhamapala. Penalty says referee. Holding on.
So here you just want Air Force to take the points. Can they kick it from here? They've got a kicker that can kick this ball through the post, or are they going to take the option, take the line out?
I think Gani Damagoda is very much capable of kicking this distance.
Do you think the wind's dropped? Has the wind dropped in the second half?
I think the wind has dropped a little bit. It's not as harsh as it was in the first half.
See, there's another injury. It looks like this might have been a head knock. Doctor's on, asking the question.
Not quite sure what happened there, but a lot of injuries in this game so far, Paul. And this is very concerning. This is the first game of the season, and if there are big injuries, it's going to affect their whole season.
Yeah, that's right. But you have that a lot in the beginning of the season because players are so enthusiastic and so excited about being back and playing and coming in and trying to make big contacts and big collisions, and that's basically where players get injured, in those big collisions. So here we go. The time's back on, is it? It'll be close. Referees asked for Air Force to take the kick. They're going to kick it into the corner. Adamalgoda pops it down there. What is that, maybe 17, 18 metres out from the try line. They want a clean, tidy throw in, collect the ball. Are they going to drive the ball here at this position, or are they going to take it off the top? They've taken off the top every time they've had the ball so far at the line out. So experience would tell us that they're probably going to do the same again. But now are they going to change it up and try and drive it? Let's see.
We'll see Udanga after the injury. Good ball there, Bandar collecting it. And Air Force this time forming a maul, shoving through. Kandy managing to hold them back. Few meters away. Air Force go. Kandy go all the way, just short of the line. As the foreigner, beautifully done there. Radua scores the try, but referee wants to have a word with his judge, and good presence of mind there, Paul, by Radua, the foreign player.
Yeah, look, you could see him in there fishing around for the ball. After checking with his assistant referees, decided that was a try, and you could actually see the faces of all the players that were, all the supporters behind from Air Force. You could see that the ball had been touched down, and you could see it was a try by their faces because they all jumped up and went, yes, we've done it. It's a great play there. So there, we were just talking about the line out from Air Force. They've taken it off the top every time every time in the game. Now this is the first time they take the ball down and start driving over that. Driving over the advantage line, and they did really well. They had a really compact unit there.
So good momentum for the team early in the second half. As Idamagoda has an opportunity to level the score and makes no mistake. So it's 14 points all. Game on here at Air Force grounds. Gante Idamagoda score converting it. So 14 all. There you go, the replay.
So here we see that compact defence, and the Kandy forwards just splinter off to the right or to the right of the Air Force players. And here you see him just pick the ball up and go over, and see the supporters in the background all go up as one. So the ball goes down into the backfield for Kandy. That kick wasn't really what Air Force needed. As I said, the winds really dropped away. They need it to pick back up again for Air Force, so they can start using that advantage and start playing some territory again. They need to get back down away from this danger area for them. At 14 all, and with Kandy with the ball in hand, they can do anything here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kandy's response is to go straight back, score under the posts.
So there you go, Nigel Ratwater gives it out to Danush Ranjan, and first touch of the game. Still moving forward. Good running lines there by Danush Ranjan. As Jason Disanaga now runs sideways, taken down by two defenders. Quick ball from Roshan Viranda to Dangamu. Dangamu to Richard Damapala. The skipper giving it out to Lawanga Perera, but he couldn't collect it. There you go, that's the backline Kandy has. The experienced backline who can pass the ball from the fly up to the win three-quarter in matter of seconds.
Yeah, look, it was a great attack, wasn't it? But we saw Ranjan there. We said we didn't say his name enough in the first half. Now 6 minutes gone in the second half, and he's touched the ball, and you saw the ground that he made. So the hole was just opened up by Nigel. He drifted across. Looked like he was going to put the ball outside to Richard on the outside of him. Just created enough doubt and space to open up a door for Ranjan to waltz through, straight through. It looked like he might have gone all the way, but he just got taken down with 5 or 10 metres to go.
So this is what Kandy can do, as you said, Paul, when they have possession. So Air Force needs to keep the ball with themselves if they want to win this game. First of all, they'll have to get out of jail. You can see Jehan Silagama off your screens, lined up. As Pereira goes to Idamagoda. Not a very good kick, but he'll take it. So Kandy now with an opportunity, came with a line out. Will they do the same thing? Will they go off the top ball?
Well, look, if you want to use your backs, what you really want to do is throw to 6 and give the backs an opportunity. So that's a halfback passing from that, almost from 15 metres in from the sideline. So let's see exactly what they're going to do. 5-man line out. They're going to throw to 2. Jason gets up and takes that ball down. Ruckin mauling the ball forward again. Just trying to suck in some defenders, and they've got to get some defenders in there if they're going to stop that. Yeah, they're way over the advantage line there, Kandy.
Jason Disanayak again going into contact, gaining some meters. Oshan Singer picking and going. Taken down. And Lawang acting as scrum half, gives it out to Nigel. Nigel giving out long pass to Richard Damapala, puts him in space. Beautiful piece of work by Kandy. Goes on to score. Taking back there late. Richard Damapala, the skipper, scoring his second try.
So there, Richard actually should be thanking his forwards there for making all that space available to him on the outside. Although we don't mind him thanking the Lord. But what a great pass there by Nigel. And also Richard's line that he ran. So he ran just on the outside of the 12. Here we see 7 comes in short. We see the players drifting wide. It was too late. The space was recognised too late. One player was meant to come in, one player was meant to go out. Richard just drifted into the space. He does it so well. And as soon as he's on the outside shoulder, he's got that pace to go straight through a hole, and it's basically too late.
Now, so Richard coming into the centre position is working well for Kandy. We had a small doubt whether it would work out because he had been playing in that number 11 jersey for a while. As Tilna Vijay Singh makes no mistake, so the score goes up to 21 points. Kandy in the lead again.
Well, to see whether he's really successful as a 12 is, you really need to have a look around and see if he creates opportunities for players around him. So if Ranjan gets the ball and he's in free space, that means Richard's grabbed a couple of defenders and attracted some attention and brought them towards him. That time there, he just ran a great line and ran through the hole. But what I'd really like to see him do is start creating space for those around him. Or the other role that he'll have is take the ball up into contact and get over the advantage line and set a good platform for another attack.
Cardinal letter there by Roshan Viratna. So giving momentum shifting again. This is what a coach wouldn't like to see. As soon as you score a try, you just give away possession to the other side.
Yeah, but statistics say that this is when you do concede points, when you've just scored some reason, and everyone knows it. We all know that as soon as you score, you're vulnerable, but you still just mentally, something happens. You just turn off that little 2%, and this is what happens. So this is the area of the ground that I believe Air Force need to try and camp in. This is where they need to be the whole time. So they need kicks to come all the way down here. Tap, tap, and he's away. Looks like number 8. It'll be difficult to stop there. They managed to stop him.
Now Udyan Kumar goes into contact. Idamagoda accepts scrum off. Charles been taken down, drift back. Guy Idamagoda has been replaced as scrum off. And Kumara has been taken out. Number 31, Ishara Madhushan has come in as fly up for Air Force as Air Force. Trying to pick and go, break Kandy's defense. A bit of a high tackle, but referee not spotting it. As Air Force trying to move forward. Good hit there. Good counter-rucking by Surya Anthony. Coming from the side. Small chip by Damagoda. Ball pops out. But referee brings back play for the penalty. As Ishara tries to take it quickly. But the forwards say, let's slow things down.
Well, there was that, and also all the players, you could throw a blanket over them. They were all in one spot there for Air Force, so no one had actually recognised that there was a penalty and moved to an area of space. So Kandy definitely weren't ready, but the opportunity was lost because the attack wasn't quick enough to recognise where the space was and move towards it.
And I think Air Force is doing quite a good job in the second half, penetrating the Kandy defense. They had a hard time in the first half, but in the second half, they've been managed to gain the advantage line, go forward, and this is how it has been in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. They have, and I think what they've brought in the second half is they've brought some urgency, and so if they can do that again, now's the time where they really need to turn on. They need urgency, they need concentration, they need skill execution at this point because they're not going to have a better chance than this. 5 metres from the try line. Yeah, it's a scrum. There's a big blind hand. There's a big blind. So it's a difficult place to defend. Dinka there telling all the players about his night out last night.
And it's interesting how Air Force had decided to take a scrum. So they're going to bring Kandy's forwards together into one position and exploit that space out wide. Idamaguda feeds in the ball as Radua breaks from the scrum. He's been taken down. Idamaguda to Udanga Kumaru and switches side now. Idamaguda, and he has numbers on the outside. Ishara out to his Bintri, cuts back in. He's been taken down. Air Force few meters away from the try line. Chahansi Lagama picks and goes. He's been pushed back by the Kandy defense. Good defense by Kandy. Ishara now gives it out to Madagadara. Madagadara taken into contact. Hit the Margaret now to Danga Kumara. Barges through. Just short of the line. Hit the Margaret again. Not a good pass, but Bandara collects it. Tries to reach to the line. Air Force moving forward. Slowing things down. Picks and goes on the outside. But doesn't manage to take the ball over the line. Intense stuff. Kandy doing really well with their fringe defense. Air Force still trying to move forward. Using their pack. Ball held, says the referee. So they'll come back to a scrum. I think a few phases before Idamaguda should have stopped his forwards and taken the ball out because they were not going anywhere. They're stuck in one place.
Yeah, maybe because what he's got to be careful of there is that if they move the ball away, you've got to make sure that there's enough players to hold on to the ball. Have a good breakdown. There, an assistant referee coming in and saying that there's been a knock on. So, assistant linesman and an old speak, referee's assistant there coming in and just giving Dinkaperis the information from the sideline. Another pair of eyes seeing something that Dinka didn't, which is good. So Dinka there having another chat with the boys.
Opportunity lost for Air Force, and Kandy still in the red zone. They have to get out of jail. The players are having a little conversation.
Yeah, they all want to tell stories about last night, but we just want to get the game started, and scrums are just all about resetting the game.
I think all the players are a bit tired now, and they're trying to gain more time to refresh as Veeraratne feeds in the ball. Good steady scrum. Dangamo picks and goes. Idamagoda trying to hold him down. Kandy moving forward. Ushan Veeraratne with the ball. Picks it up, gives it out to Telna Vijay Singh, who missed the ball, and Air Force scores. We're not quite sure who scored the try. I think it's Rumesh Ramdas. Rumesh Ramdas, the youngster scoring the try. Good presence of mind shown by him, Paul.
But Roshan, when he picked up the ball and sort of dummied once and then passed the ball, really gave Nigel no opportunity really, and just piled all the pressure on, and you could see the Air Force just piled through. This only happens when you're down this end of the field, so they have to get back down here again if they want to score. It was a scrappy way to score, but it was just from pressure. They just kept on piling on the pressure, and they want to hold these guys down here. So it looks like that Kandy going to try and run the ball out all the time. So kick the ball down in here, stay down in this area, and let them run out. Let them make mistakes. Let your defence come, and it really G's up players and brings all your forwards into the game.
And if the Malgoda doesn't make the conversion this time, so the score will stand 21 points to 19. There you go.
Halfback stands up. with the ball in his hand and doesn't pass it quick enough. The ball's got to go from the ground straight back to that player to give your kicker as much time as possible. Any young halfbacks who are watching today, make sure that you look at that. It's got to come off the ground. You've got to get the ball away as quickly as possible. And you can see in the background there, 19:21, 57 minutes gone. Are we in for an upset here?
Nigel restarts the game. Airforce picks the ball up. Well, very well collected. I see the Margaret. Good thumping kick. The momentum has shifted. There you can see Air Force players running forward.
Great kick. That's what we want.
So there had been a replacement for Kandy. Yakubali has come in for Uchita Jayasuriya. Good line out there as Nigel puts a long pass out as Kandy moves forward. Danshka Ranjan pops it out to Vijay Singh. He needs support. As Roshan Viratna picks and goes, he's in space. Can he go all the way? Yes, he does. Beautiful passage of play by Kandy. This is what we've been talking about all day. What they can do in their attack, what their backline can do.
I think it's just their confidence out wide. They just like moving it into those wide channels, and their skill execution at that breakdown was excellent. They turned the ball over, they covered up, so there's no opportunity there for Air Force to come and steal the ball. Really quick ball for the 9, and that just put the defence under so much pressure they didn't know who to take. And Roshan really made up for that mistake that he made in the last try that Air Force got, where he just took the ball to the line, faked, he had the ball presented as if he was going to pass the ball, and that was enough to put the defence in two minds, and they held off him, too long, try.
And also, that's the experience we can see coming into play. This Kandy backline as still Vijay Singh lines up to take the conversion to extend their lead to 28 points. Makes no mistake, so it's 28 points to 19. Kandy in the lead. Things have been going back and forth in this game. So can Air Force hit back again?
Yeah, look, they just need to make sure that they take some sort of control of that outside channel, the outside 13. They don't want the ball getting out there. They either have to get up closer. And you see Ranjan, he just gets on the outside of his defender and just gets over the advantage line. And here's the tidy little breakdown that they had. They had two players. It was a 2-on-2. Those two players, they stayed out, and the halfback had an opportunity to run through.
And also Silagama, you could have seen the defender Silagama. He should have first looked, kept his eye on the scrum half, and then drifted as Air Force restarts. This time Roshan Viratna does no mistake collecting it. Until Vijay Singh with a flat kick. Not managing to kick it out, and Air Force runs back in. Gains meters at the Margota to Ishara. Ishara now. So he's forwards. He was looking forward before picking the ball. Number 5, Prasanna Madhushankar, looking up at the defense before collecting the ball.
Yeah, see, what I'd like to see from there, at that point, there's still 45 metres out, there maybe more, there might be at the halfway line. I'd like to see Air Force put the ball back on the boot and get back down into the 22 of the Kandy team and put pressure back on them. Just put the ball up in the air, because we know that Kandy are struggling to kick the ball away when they're back in those areas. So put the ball high up in the air, give your team a chance to chase. Maybe they might make a mistake. Maybe they might drop the ball.
But
maybe they might not kick back properly.
But the thing is, Paul, Gani Damagoda has moved on to scrum half, so they have to use the box kick more often. But this time, Ishara moves forward as Air Force turns the ball over after the scrum. As Charles Praveen charges through, beautiful hit. Air Force with momentum. Charles Praveen losing that ball, and Kandy turning over the ball. But knock forward, says the referee. So,
But here we are, we're down back in this area again. This is where Air Force have so much influence. The crowd starts to come into the game, their forwards start to have some sort of belief that they can scramble over and score a try. They have done so far 3 times. Who's to say they're not going to do it again?
we'll see what's going to happen. The referee's having a word with the Kandy forwards.
So there's a big blindside here. They've got 2 players on the right-hand side. Air Force putting the ball in. The halfback's on the left-hand side of their scrum. So if they want to go on 8-9 move, then the halfback would attack the first player, first defender, and then there'd be 2 players on the outside. So it's a 3-on-2. So that's an option.
Referee's having a word with the 2 skippers. I think he has had enough of players trying to get in trouble.
So here we are, 63 minutes gone, 17 minutes left, a little bit under 17 minutes left. Big blindside. Are we going to see an 8-9 move? No. Just see an 8 pick up off the back. Looked like he might have dropped the ball. Referee's assistant there speaks into his collar like a CIA agent. Gives Dinka the heads up. Ball is just knocked on in contact there.
I think it would have been a better call if they went on to an 8-9 move, but nevertheless, unfortunate for Air Force. They've been really good inside this part of the grounds. But
Well,
opportunity gifted away.
That's the thing, James. When we're in the commentary box, we can see everything, and we become oracles of rugby. But when you're at the coalface, you're right down there. When you're amongst it, that's the area where real decisions are being made, and they decide that they're going to get over the advantage line, and that didn't happen there for Air Force. It's really heavy defence there from Air Force. They're going to pile in numbers here.
Veerarana goes to the pocket to Tilna Vijay Singh, who puts a long kick. Wind is not helping him, so it will go just few meters past the 22-meter mark. So Air Force with an opportunity for a line out.
So we're just outside the 22, so what are they going to do from this point? Are they going to have a driving maul? First things first, they just need to make sure they get the ball in, make sure they secure the possession.
And you can purchase your memories from ThePapare.com for just ₹99. You can call the numbers on the screen. And back to rugby. Air Force collecting the ball, setting up a maul, trying to move out, but the maul has been broken down. So Idamagoda charging his forwards. Udan Kumara going into contact. Bandar cleans it up. Idamagoda gives it out to his line. Now, can they use the space outright? Ramesh Ramdas makes a fumble. So opportunity gifted away again.
Yeah, look, that pass was a little bit too deep, I thought. If you're going to run a front line attack and then pass it out the back, that back attack really needs to take advantage of the players that are being committed on the inside. And here we can see the pass comes out the back, and the players, they all started drifting as soon as that the 10 sort of went past those players at the front, and they just drifted off that player, and they just went straight out the back. And that's why there was a welcome committee there for the Air Force backs there when they arrived.
So word from CR and FC is 24-23. CR in the lead, with Tainder Ratwat converting a 53-meter penalty. So an interesting game down there too. So back to the game over here. Kandy leading 28 points to 19. Kumarov. The Arfus keeper has been taken out. Udanga Kumara. As Kandy with a good setup scrum. Moving forward. Shambiratna gives it out to Najaratatte, who gives it to Ranjan, cuts back inside. Very well defended there. Kandy still with position. Najaratatte, small chip over the defenders. Still Vijay Singh does no mistake. But referee is bringing back play. I think Tilne Vijay Singh was slightly in front of the kicker. That's what the referee says.
Yeah, we're looking to see what that penalty is for. Comes back. Oh, it's a pretty line ball call. But there was only one man there in orange who was in line with it, and that's Dinka Pettis. He's a very smart man, Dinka. Saw that well. Penalty. What do you want to do? Penalty where the ball landed or penalty where the ball was kicked, is it?
So Air Force deciding to go for touch. A good kick there. It's about 7 or 8 meters away from the try line.
If they go in here, they'll be within one score. Pressure's right on both teams. 10 minutes to go.
This is the worst place to be for Mudita Kasun, the replacement hooker. His first throw in a crucial moment. Makes no mistake. So Air Force sets up a maul, tries to go forward. Radua taken down. Charles Praveen picks up and goes. Air Force trying to use their forwards off the ball. Picks and goes. Radua, there was a slight knock on. Referee was right there to spot it. So yet again gifting away opportunity.
Yeah, little skill execution mishap there. Little slight knock on. It looked like Kandy might have taken that maul down after it was formed, but referee didn't see it that way. But it's a ding-dong battle. Could go any way, either way. This game at the moment just clicks over 70 minutes. 28 points to 19. Air Force have the wind at their back. Coming home with a wet sail. The clock's been stopped, as you can see. Players come on, and that must be an injury concern.
Plenty of replacements and Air Force player on the ground. So Dhanush Chan replacing Lavanga Pereira for Kandy. And Air Force also having some fresh legs. Jero Dhananjaya and Suraj Tilakaratne in. The foreign player Radua is taken out as Dinesh Veeratna comes in.
Well, that's interesting. Radua, he just made that mistake, knock on, and gets taken off. See what Kandy decided to do. They're going to crunch up at 12, try and create a better angle for their kicker. It's a nice kick. That's great contact there.
Beautiful kick there by Vijay Singh. He's capable of that. We all know that. Vijay Singh had been a brilliant player for Kandy since 2013 after he left school.
Yeah, just great technique. Head over the ball, great follow through. Yeah, Beautiful to watch. Air Force have the ball again where they're going to take it just outside the 12. Massive tackle there. Is that Dharamapala? I'm not sure who that was. But there they go, they're down the blind side, Air Force, holding onto the ball. They haven't managed to get over the advantage line yet. They're just getting up to where that line out was taken. They have another opportunity. Adamalgoda moving to the 12-13 channel. Just set up another ruck. They're going to take the ball around the corner again. Lots of players piling in there and more going from Air Force.
South Force moves forward. Good line speed shown by Kandy, pushing the players back.
You see how many Kandy players there are on their feet and how many Air Force players are not behind the ball. They need to get up off the ground.
You see the number 7, he stood up from one ruck and just ran towards the other one and just stood behind it. South Force picks and goes. Hit the mark with a small chip. Doesn't work this time. But referee says...
Coming in from the side, maybe? Is that? Yeah.
So clock stop again. Another player down for Kandy.
One of their, hopefully it's not Udangamoa, because he's been an impressive ball carrier today, as he always has been. He was a colossus last season.
He has always been a good player, good asset for Kandy, and that's Thaindu Chaturanga down on the ground as Air Force restarts the play with a good touch.
It's a great kick. Oh, it looked like it went much closer than that. It's a very conservative assistant referee on that far side.
Nevertheless, Air Force wins a line out as Mudita Kasun with the second line out. Good throw, very well collected. As Kandy, I think it was collapsing, but referee says otherwise. So Idamagoda with the ball now. Gives it out to Charles. Charles back to his line. Long pass to Umesh Ramdas. Ramdas cuts back in. Taken down. He needs support. As Air Force now with the ball changing direction. Bandara going into contact. He needs support. Idamagoda right there. Picks and passes to Ishara. Ishara shows and goes. Been taken down. Good line speed showed by Kandy. But the ball back with Air Force. As fresh legs for Air Force. But Kandy pushing them back. Air Force losing ground. Unlucky there. So Kandy now with the ball. Dhanushtan on the outside. Kandy, can he work his magic? No, he's been taken down. Air Force winning the ball, but the referee says not staying on feet. So Kandy has an opportunity to take the tap quickly, but decides to slow things down. Roshan Veeratna says no, will kick it out. So Damit Veerasinghe is in.
So we can just see that Air Force there, they just lack the penetration that Ravandu gave them when he was going into contact. He was really getting over the advantage line, and they're just lacking that penetration at the moment, and that's why their attack is just breaking down a little bit. Kandy really just slowing the game down here. There's just over 5 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go. You'll see Kandy players go down on the ground, another one's injured, take up a little bit more time, they'll make a substitution, eat up the clock. They're ahead on the board by more than one score, so they're looking good at the moment.
And results from CRNFC is 24-23. CR winning the game. So, interesting first week in this Dialog Rugby League 2018-19. And here, of course, just about 5 minutes to go. Kandy leading 28 points to 19.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? CH, yeah, they look like we've been finding their feet after just their re-emergence in the last season or so. They're really a strong force to be reckoned with. But CR, the new coaching team there. Congratulations, CR.
As Kandy
Wild
with the
pass.
attack now. Shashika Jayawardena goes into contact. As Ushan Veeratne switches sides, give it out to Sloy Anthony. It's a forward pass and Air Force now with the attack. Damagoda picks and goes, gives it out to Ishara. Ishara now to his back line. Cuts back in.
No arms tackle.
Well done to penetrate the defense. At least Damagoda runs by himself. Pop pass, but to a Kandy player. And Kandy now in the attack.
That was a white player, white shirt.
So Shehan Patirana picks and goes. Ball pops out, but Kandy manages to keep the ball. Knock forward, says the referee. Unlucky there. Kandy will have no problem with these infringements, but Air Force will need to hurry up because they have just almost 4 minutes on the clock.
So at 4 minutes, what you really want your leaders to do is just to G your players up and say, look, this is it. All that pre-season, all that work we did, all that sweat that we put in for this team, now's the time to use it. And what they really need to do is they need to get 3 points to start with. They're 2 scores. They need to get within 7, and then at least they're in with the bonus point of being within 7 losing points. But then if they can get 3 points, then they give themselves an opportunity of scoring a try in the last minute or the last play or in the last seconds of the game and taking the victory. At the moment, if they leave it up to the last seconds to score a try, it's not going to win them the game. So I'd be working myself into a position where you'd be able to try and take a kick.
And also, Paul, it's not impossible to score 2 or 3 tries in 4 minutes because we've seen a lot of teams doing that in the local level and also in the international level. So it's the work they put in this last 4 minutes. That's all they've got in this week, last 4 minutes of this game.
It's that and also the team and the attitude. We saw 80 minutes from England last week and they didn't score any tries. So, you know, it's the attitude that the team needs to take. And Air Force have had an attitude where they're giving everything. They're attacking with everything they have. Limited as it is, they're attacking with everything they have, and they want to get back into that 22-metre line and then put pressure on Kandy until Kandy cough the ball up and they can score a try. So as I said, what they need to do is just get back down there.
So Damagoda feeds in the ball as Nambury breaks back to Damagoda, exploiting space on the outside. Wintrikada cuts back in. As Damagoda gives it out again to his forwards. Taken down, losing ground. Back to the forwards. And Ishara now with the ball. Long cutout pass. There's space on the outside. Can he go all the way? He needs support. It's been taken down by Veeraratne. Air Force need quick ball out. As Damagoda now with the ball. Gives it out again. Good pick and go. Banda not collecting it. Kandy winning the ball. Jason Disanaga changing direction. He's been taken down. Veeraratne with a box kick. Very well done. Seeing the space. Air Force trying to run. Rumesh Ramdas been taken down by Kandy. They're under pressure. Their players are still getting back. As Ishara gives it out to his big man, the replacement, Nilanta. As Ishara again to his forwards. Air Force players being lazy, not running towards the ball, and the scrum half is having a hard time passing the ball all the way down.
So really when you see all your players in front of you like the fullback did there, what they really want to do is the forwards want to see the fullback put the ball in the air, have another kick, and then run them all onside so the forwards don't all have to run all the way back and then turn around and start attacking or defending. And in that case, they ran all the way back and started attacking, but the effort to get back was just a little bit beyond them at this point of the game with only 2.5 minutes left. So in those situations, the leaders should be yelling out to the fullback, because there's a lot of pressure on the fullback running back to get that ball. They should be yelling out to him, kick the ball, kick it, kick it, kick it.
And as a result, Air Force giving away possession. Kandy with an opportunity to finish off the game with a score. Just about 2 minutes to go in our clock. It's 28 points to 19. It has been an interesting game. Both teams scoring back and forth.
I can tell you what we've seen here today, and that's we've seen a champion team doing enough to win. We see lots of teams doing that, and we see Kandy making another break. I'm not sure who that was. Was that Richard Dharamapala or Ranjan? And the ball just got knocked on there. They just lost it, and it looks like Dingaperis might be looking at his watch here. No?
I think.
We're going to play another set piece.
And Paul, time has come for us to decide who the man of the match is. What do you think? Is it on Air Force side or Kandy's side? Who made the most impact to his team?
I think the halfback replacement for Kandy came on, Roshan Weeratne. He came on and he completely changed the dynamic of the game. He meant that Kandy could score a try just before half-time with his little sniping runs, and then he scored a try himself in the second half as well. I think he's come on and he's made the most impact. Both forward backs have had their forward runners and been holding on to the ball here. So Air Force have just got the ball and another opportunity to get out of jail here, but they're being brought back and being told to slow down. So both forward backs have had an arm wrestle. It's early on, so we don't see the great combinations that you'd like to see with the 9, the 10, the 12, the 13. But that'll come. But really, Roshan came on and just changed the whole game. So I'd give him man of the match for me.
Yes, but I do agree. Yes, he had some mishaps in the game, but he was a really impact player for this Kandy side today, coming on before the half-time to create a try and then scoring a try by himself and taking the pace up in this game and helping the Kandy's backline to reach this score as Air Force with the ball. Last opportunity for them to have a consolation try as the time is up in our clock.
They still have the ball. It's on halfway. Can they get some points here and try and sneak back in within 7 points? Cuts back inside that.
No, actually, they can't win this game, but they might as well get the bonus point, scoring 4 tries, because that'll be important in this league. As Ishara gives it out to his forwards. Still, Air Force using their forwards. As he gives it out to his number 16, Kanishka goes into contact. Now Air Force still trying to move forward, but Shashika Jawardhan are doing really well. Good decision, but couldn't execute it. Knock forward, says the referee. So I think that's it. Yes, it is. So referee says that's it. 80 minutes up. Good game we've witnessed over here. What do you think overall in this game?
I think, James, really, as we see on the screen, 28 points to 19 was probably a fair result. Kandy, they're a champion team and they just do enough to win all the time, and that's what champion teams do. They just push themselves until they're ahead on the scoreboard, and then they seem to relax, and they just seem to relax a couple of times and let Air Force back in. Air Force were tenacious. They had belief. They had purpose, and they tried to get in, and with their limited attack, they tried to use everything they could, and they managed to scramble over 3 tries. So I think it was a fair result in the end. I would have liked to have seen the Kandy backs being used a bit more often. I would have liked to have seen Ranjan get the ball on the outside as we have a little look at the highlights. And this is the very first minute. You see them, and as soon as they get the ball on the outside, look how dangerous they are. That's the halfway line they just crossed. Now it's 22. And they're in for a try. So they can score from their own half, we already know that. But as soon as they get it on the outside, they just make huge yards. Every time they've got it out to the 13. Talina, again, just showing us all how good a footballer he is. such beautiful touch with the ball. There we go. We see Kishan just go through that hole. He was a great play. It was a skip pass that opened up the space on the outside, and he saw the action on the inside. Nigel again taking the ball to the line, and this time Dharamapala was underneath the posts, and that was just before half time, and Kandy went into half time at 7:14. Here we see this is the scrappy, give everything they can, take whatever they're going to get given approach that Air Force had, and they just ground out results. They ground out that try. It was inch by inch. They decided to go really close, and that was the final scoring. That was the third try for them. Here we see Kandy, and they're still attacking. You see Dharamapala. He's got this great line, excellent pass, an excellent line. Dharamapala just drifting on the outside of his defender. As soon as he gets around the outside, he's got too much pace. We know that already. Over and scoring another try. And here we see that's a mistake there. Roshan. The pass wasn't quite right. He stood up and passed firstly. That created that opportunity for Air Force. And here we see Roshan just shows the ball enough. Am I passing? Am I passing? Who knows? I'm the owner, and who knows? I'm not going to pass. I'm going to go straight through that hole, and I'm going to get my team over the line. That was a man of a match performance from him. He really changed the dynamic. He gave the forwards some confidence, and they had a leader at 9, and he gave the back some direction where he would take the ball and start sniping, and really set up the outside back, the inside backs and the outside backs by creating doubt around the ruck for the defenders.
And that's something to look into by the coach, the Kandy side. So coming on to the next week, and this is the score breakdown. Kandy 4 tries, 4 conversions, and Air Force 3 tries, 2 conversions in reply. So Kandy winning the game 28 points to 19. So that's it from Air Force Grounds, Ratmalana. This was the 3rd game of the Dialog Rugby League, and alongside with Paul Toya, thank you for joining us, the ThePapare technical crew and the production crew. I'm James Perez, signing off, sharing the passion.